Who is Kevin Del Cid, the teenager who killed for MS-13? Kevin Del Cid wasn't a name the world knew, just a teenager living in a Long Island, New York, moving quietly through life like any other kid. But beneath that normal-looking surface was a violent secret. By age 16, Del Cid had committed his first murder. By 20, he had killed again, not out of anger, not out of revenge, but on orders from one of the world's most brutal gangs, MS-13. So, who is Kevin Del Cid? And how did a teenage boy become a cold-blooded killer, luring victims through fake Facebook accounts, burying them in shallow graves, and walking away without a trace? Kevin Del Cid was born in the early 2000s, reportedly growing up in an immigrant community in Long Island. Like many teens from tough backgrounds, he was vulnerable, caught between surviving his environment and trying to find identity and power. That's where MS came in. The gang saw something in him. They gave him a role, a code to live by, and a promise of protection. But there was a price. To prove his loyalty, Del Cid had to kill. This is how MS-13 operates. They recruit young, impressionable kids, often immigrants or children of immigrants. They offer them family, then they demand blood. In 2016, at just 16 years old, Del Cid carried out his first known killing. His victim, 15-year-old Javier Castillo. Javier had been lured to a wooded area under the impression he was going to smoke marijuana. But Del Cid and other MS-13 members were waiting. They attacked him, beat him with bats, and hacked him with machetes. Then they buried his body in the woods in central Islip, Long Island. This wasn't personal. It was a gang protocol, a test, and Del Cid passed. Years passed, and Kevin rose quietly through the ranks. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but he was loyal and lethal. In 2019, he struck again. This time, his victim was 20-year-old Karen Pineda. The setup was even more disturbing. Del Cid used a fake Facebook account, posing as a young girl, to lure Pineda into a trap. They messaged back and forth. The fake girl flirted, built trust, and finally asked him to meet in person. But when Pineda showed up, he was ambushed. Again, machetes, again, bats, and again, a freshly dug grave waiting nearby. It was premeditated, cold, calculated, and it showed how far Del Cid had come from teenage recruit to executioner. For years, the victims' families had no answers, no suspects, no justice, but law enforcement never gave up. The FBI, Suffolk County Police, and federal prosecutors worked together, connecting digital evidence, phone data, gang communications, and eventually Del Cid's role. They tracked the first Facebook messages, followed phone pings, interviewed gang insiders. Slowly, the puzzle began to fit. In 2023, they quietly closed in, and in 2025, Kevin Del Cid finally pleaded guilty to the murders of both Castillo and Pineda, as well as drug trafficking charges tied to MS-13. Del Cid stood in federal court. No long trial, no denial, just a guilty plea. He admitted everything, 2 brutal murders, both tied to MS-13, both planned in advance. As part of his plea deal, he avoided the death penalty, but will spend the rest of his life in federal prison. For the families, it was bittersweet. Justice was finally served, but the answers they truly wanted, "Why my child? Why so young?" may never come. Del Cid's case revealed a terrifying new strategy. Gangs aren't just operating in streets anymore, they are online. That's right, online. MS-13 now uses social media as a weapon. Fake profiles, targeted messages, digital traps. For young people like Pineda and Castillo, a simple friend request became a death sentence. Del Cid wasn't a mastermind, he was a pawn, but a willing one. He used technology, loyalty, and violence to destroy lives. Kevin Del Cid isn't just a murderer, he is a mirror, a reflection of what happens when young people fall through the cracks, caught between poverty, identity, and the grip of organized crime. But he also made choices. He chose to kill, twice, deliberately, with planning, deception, and cruelty. And for that, his future is set, a life behind bars. The story of Kevin Del Cid isn't just about MS-13. It's about the dangers of recruitment, the power of manipulation, and how easy it is to hide behind a screen. He was just a kid once, but in trying to prove himself to a gang, he destroyed 2 lives and lost his own in the process. The question we must ask now is, how many Kevin Del Cids are there watching, waiting, and being groomed for violence? I want to just say thank you for all of my new subscribers and my old subscribers, my regular subscribers. I appreciate you all so much. You just don't know. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm trying to get 500 subscribers. Thank you for your support and keeping me motivated and excited to bring you all these videos. See you next time in the next video. God bless you.